Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Every once in a while we like to argue over whether we think set boxes or draft boxes will perform better in the future, and I had long ago put it on my Kanban board to revisit this subject in early 2023, and here we are, and sadly, we have no more clarity now than we did at any time before. Of course, set boxes first appeared in Zendikar Rising in late 2020, and continued all through 21 and 22. And I had originally thought at some point Zendikar Rising, Kaldheim, Strixhaven, and Adventures in the Forgotten Realms would rotate out of standard. They rotated out in September of 22. And I thought, hey, sometime before that rotation, they will go out of print and maybe the prices will start to diverge. We'll start to get some information on set boxes versus the same expansions draft boxes. Now, of course, there's a lot of problems with this kind of analysis. The first being that, well, when does a set go out of print? I don't know. WotC doesn't really make press releases saying such and such is out of print. They just kind of tell the distributors, hey, we're not going to print any more of this. And even then, it may have been months since WotC had the last printing of an expansion done. So they technically kind of go out of print at the end of the last printing before WotC even knows sometimes that that may be the last printing. So we're not always sure about out of print dates. We have to decide, when we do these comparisons, what kind of purchase date do we want to assume? And for this, I've just assumed the release date. There's no good answer to this question. Not all of us can be Joe Bob, the elite deal ninja master, who always gets everything at $100 below wholesale, even if it means that the card store pays him to take it off their hands. There's always that one guy in the comments claiming wild crap like that. But we just have to assume some prices. I assume that you're going to pay wholesale price. Yeah, it's probably good enough. As long as we stick to these same rules forever and we have reasonable rationale. Now, I know if you've ever done any type of contract bidding, you know that the rationale does not always have to be rational, but we'll just go with this because it's good enough. So we'll do wholesale prices you bought on release day, and then we'll just take the current market price, which for draft boxes, I've pulled these prices out as of January 2nd, 2023, when I'm recording this video, and the current set box prices. And again, for this, we don't have to be hyper accurate. We don't have to go do the last so many completed sales on eBay or the last time weighted average of completed sales on TCG Player. I just took TCG Player's current market price right now. And so from release day to today, from the wholesale price to the current market price, I computed the compound annual growth rate. And of course, this brings us to why we're really getting no more clarity on this subject today than we did 8 months ago at the beginning of May when these 4 sets highlighted in blue went out of print. And that is, there is still so much supply of these boxes around. So I looked at the distributor that I'm with, and all 4 of these out of print sale sets, they still have for sale at the distributor level. Some of them only draft boxes, some of them set boxes, but some of them both. And up until a couple days ago, the 31st of December, WotC was dumping most of these products on Amazon. And so Zendikar Rising draft boxes were $80, $81, I believe, on Amazon up until the end of 2022, the last day. Now, when we rolled over to January 1st of 23, the new fiscal year starts for WotC. It's the new quarter, and so they're not going to keep dumping right then. They'll wait until maybe the last 2 weeks of March when they're looking at what kind of sales numbers they need to post for the first quarter of 23, and they'll start dumping on Amazon again then. But up until that point, just 3 days before this video was recorded on January 2nd, you could get Zendikar Rising on Amazon from WotC for a price lower than card stores could buy it at wholesale from their distributors while it was an in-print product. And that's the kind of stuff that is really preventing us from getting any good insight into the long-term trend of these boxes. It's only been 8 months since these sets have been out of print. And in that time, the market has continued to melt down. Arguably, it's melted down faster. And not only WotC, but the distributors and definitely the card stores still have tons of these products on hand. So I don't think we're going to get any clarity on this in the next 6 months. I would say absolute bare minimum 6 months. Then we might start seeing an upturn in the market, some general bullishness in the wider economy, some tightening of the supply of these sets, and by then we will we'll be sure that Modern Horizons 2 is out of print. Maybe it's out of print now. Maybe it's out of print and WotC doesn't even know it now. And we'll be closing in, if not already past the point of the next chunk of standard sets being out of print, that being Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, Kamigawa, and Streets. And so they won't rotate out until September of 23, but they'll go out of print typically sometime before that, a couple months before that, sometimes 6 or more months before that. So we're just going to have to wait longer. You know, when you do CAGR calculations on very short time periods, you get wacky results like Brothers Wars appreciated 143% in the 2.5 months it's been in release now. So you can't really trust these very, very, very late numbers, but the older ones start to have more meaning because we're looking at, say, September 18th, 2020 up until today. So 2 years and 4 months. So the calculation of CAGR has meaning, but the market is in such a tumultuous state right now that we still can't derive any type of reasonable view of what's going to do better. Draft boxes, set boxes. Ultimately, the market will decide for us. I think still, for the most part, set boxes will do better. I think there will be sets where the draft boxes do better because of relative print run sizes between the two. So, you know, famously, Strixhaven draft boxes were incredibly hard to get early in their life. Now they more than fix that. And that's one of the sets that WotC was dumping on Amazon below wholesale prices just a few days ago. But, you know, situations like that where maybe the set box or the draft box was particularly hard to get in the lifetime will skew that long-term result. But I think for the most part, set boxes are going to win just because the cards inside them are better. So let me know what you think, guys. Sorry we don't have any clarity here, but the data are the data, and they are not telling us anything right now, no matter how hard we torture them. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, guys.